Maybe you heard this before. Why do good people die when they are young? You might have even just naturally questioned that yourself because you maybe had a relative or somebody in your life who passed on at a young age and he or she was very good. Or simply, I mean, look at there's a lot of celebrities that die at a young age and they're clearly very benevolent forces and very influential people for the positive. Let's give you guys some examples here. Bob Marley, 36 years old, died at 36. Bill Hicks, sometime in his 30s. John Lennon, 40. Tupac, 25. Malcolm X, etc., etc., etc. Many people who were here on some form of positive change. They influence the world in a positive way, one way or another. Or they were positively oriented. You will see that there is an alarming enough percentage because you could say, well, does that mean all good people die when they're young? No, there's very good people that made it to be 90, 100 and beyond, right? Babaji in India, he sits in his Himalayan cave. He's been around since the Roman times. Okay, so just because and of course there are a lot of people who die young who are just like neutral, right? But there is still an alarming enough percentage, let's say, of very good benevolent souls, people dying at a young age. It's alarming enough to raise such an inquiry. why 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 does it have to be that the good die young? I mean, I have a cousin. His name was, is, and forever, I guess, if it's all one moment, Mo. And he was my best friend, my best cousin, and I have hundreds, like over 100 cousins, okay? He was my favorite one. We vibed. We both bonded over the injustice that was done to us by our dads, the constant beatings and blah, blah, blah. He was the oldest in his family. I was the oldest, so we were blamed for everything. So we bonded on so many levels. Spiritual level too. Our souls were very much connected. He was very benevolent. A very, very good soul. Like, I mean, oh God. Oh God. Like, he must have also come from like higher dimensions and higher planes. And he came here for a little bit. For whatever reason. And he left early. He was 16 when he passed away. Very benevolent. Oh, everyone loved him. I mean, his mom still can't. I mean, it's been years since this happened. His mom can't. He was her favorite because he was just so loving, such a loving soul. And he passed away in an accident. So I think a lot of us know one or two people. And it is a significant enough percentage to raise an alarm. Like, okay, what's happening here? There's these very, very nice souls. Why are they dying young? And here's your answer. These very nice, benevolent souls are what Ra calls wanderers, which I have been talking about more lately. You should damn well, if you're serious about this work, familiarize yourself with this concept of wanderer. It's so critical to because there's a good chance you're a wanderer. Star seed. So many names for it, right? Star seed, star people. Wanderer is my favorite term. But these people, Bob Marley, Tupac, my cousin Mo, I'm sure somebody you know maybe in your own life too. All these people are wanderers and they came here to do something, but they miss it back home too much. So they arrange, just before coming here, they'll arrange for an early exit because they're here to get the job done. Like Bob Marley comes here and says, here's the music, reggae culture. Let's go. Let's go, baby. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Look at all the reggae bars. There's so many of them here in Pi, that culture, one love, I mean, it was there before Bob Marley, but I'm saying Bob Marley came here and boom, revolutionized it and popularized it and spread it to the world. Right, so he's a wanderer. He's a fellow soul from 5th or 6th density. And just before he comes here, says, well, look, I really love it here too much. I want my time I want to go there. I want my time to be brief. So let's arrange for 35, 36 years old. All right. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get the job done. I'm I'm gonna do this, this, and that. I'm gonna spread the message of one love. I'm gonna spread this music, and I'm gonna arrange for an early exit. And that's exactly what happens. Early exit. Oh, well, he's got cancer. He's got this. You think that's by accident? You think the soul doesn't know this? You think the soul doesn't know this? You think my cousin, who is a very, very benevolent, again, this is not just by my own account. This is by the account of his mother, who said that this, like his soul, just when he came, there were so many blessings. In other words, I think my cousin came here to bless the family and leave, or just do something like that. You think my cousin didn't know that he's gonna get in an accident when he was 16, and he's just gonna pass away like that? You think he didn't know? Well, he damn well knew. And so the wanderer souls that come here for a short period, they miss it back home too much. They want to be back home as soon as possible. So they come here, they already prearrange it. Oh, accident, oh, cancer, oh, this and that. And they come here prearranging it in the DNA. Let's put in some cancer in there. Okay, and let's have it activate. It's going to activate. Because at those higher levels, when you come here and you make the conscious choices, you're like, it's no accidents. You know everything. You're like this super genius. All right, so let's fire that cancer gene at this. It's gonna fire in around 34, 35, 36. You're okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, sounds good. All right, now go ahead, make your music, spread it to the world, and here you have an early ticket back home. That's what it is, folks. That's what it is. That's from the cosmic perspective. Death and life is like doesn't exist. It's just like you come in here, you play your role, and you leave. So the soul comes here, these higher density souls, the wanderers, they come here, they know what's up. They know what's up. Okay? So yeah, Bob Marley comes here, so all right, let's reggae, baby, let's popularize it here. All right, let's spread the good vibes, but I gotta go back home. I love it here too much. I can't be there too long. And so that's it. The early arrangement back home. All right. I don't want to get too involved in the earth karma. I don't want to be there too long. I miss it. I'm going in there, but I don't want to get involved. I don't want to. Let's just get out of it as soon as possible. And of course, that doesn't always work. I would say Bob Marley got involved in quite a bit. He's got a big lot of children and stuff, but that's not my business. Okay, I simply salute him as a fellow wanderer who he gets a standing ovation. Job well done, Bob Marley. Job well done. You did it. You spread the love. You spread the music. You popularized it. Look, it's everywhere now. It's spreading the message. Your music has so much to do with it. It's so associated with good vibes, right? John Lennon, same thing. Exact same thing. John Lennon doesn't want to hang out here more than 40 years. Bill Hicks comes here, makes everybody laugh. Look at how absurd society is. I'm going back home, baby. See you later. Who said don't ever be scared? Don't ever worry, because it's just a ride. That's a message all the way from the 5th and 6th density. These are wanderers that come here. Wanderers. They come here, they do it quickly, and they leave. They don't want to be here too long. They don't want to stick around here too long. So they come, they tell us how it is in their own way. Music, comedy, stand up. Here's how absurd the society is. I'm leaving. Bye-bye. Tupac? All right, Tupac. I'm going to take on this. I'm going to go to the black community. And I'm going to raise, because a lot of wanderers, by the way, there's a lot of wanderers in the black community. Because it's been such a marginalized community that it required, that's why there's a lot of, you'll see this, a lot of benevolent, souls incarnating as, Martin Luther King and Tupac and all these, even Biggie, Biggie was a benevolent soul. He was a wanderer too. And they may not seem like it to you, but they are. Tupac was, for sure. Tupac was a very good guy, and so was Biggie. And they were friends. Despite the rivalry, but they were actually really sincere friends. And they were both wanderers, okay? And so, then the Tupac soul says, well, I'm going to take on that Tupac guy, and I'm going to come in here, and it's going to be quick bang bam, right? I'm going to lift up this community, bring all these injustices to the attention of the world, and boom, I'm going to leave, because I don't want to hang. What did Tupac say? It's in the words, it's in the lyrics. He said, my only fear of death is coming back to this bitch reincarnated, or something like that, right? He wants to be back home. He's got every right, by the way. If he wants to, if you don't want to hang out here too long, you just when you sign the contract, you say, well, I'm just going to be there for 25 years, let's arrange for this person to kill me, to assassinate me. All right, so you come in here and you say, well, all right, 25 years, a quick big bang, here's the music, here's what's happening, see you later. As Bill Hicks would say, don't ever worry, it's just a trip. He's right, it's just a trip. So that's why a lot of these good souls, why do the good die young? That's a lot of times, that's the reason. That's why, you will probably continue to see this. Now you've got people like me. I'm a wanderer too, but then I'm so attracted to breatharianism and longevity that it is part of my mission actually to come here. And unfortunately, I already signed it. It's too late now. It's part of my mission to come here and hang out for a while. That's why I can't help but continue on the breatharian path, and I can't help but I'm going to be living here basically for at least 200 years, right? That's the message. That's the vision. That's what I saw. So I signed up to this shit. I agreed to it. It's like I saw on paper and stuff, metaphysical paper. So then it really depends on the contract you signed, on what you chose. I chose to come here and I chose to experience longevity and experience the breatharian state and be it part of my message. I chose it that way. So unfortunately for me, unfortunately for you, unfortunately for the world, this asshole is sticking around for another 150 years at least. Okay? So that's this particular wanderer standing in front of you here signed up a longer contract. Okay? It's a longer term contract than say the one Bob Marley signed, or the one Bill Hicks signed, or the one John Lennon signed, or the one Tupac signed. And as a wanderer, you know exactly the time of your death. You pick it all, you choose it all just before. You're very conscious at those levels. Very conscious. So you come here and you experience it fully damn well, knowing what the experience is going to be like. Okay? You don't just come randomly from those densities. You didn't spend eons evolving to be a 5th and 6th density being without being a genius, essentially, and being so conscious and knowing what experience you're getting yourself into. Okay? And it is a risk coming here because you can get involved in the earth karma. So you may come here, sign up a short-term contract, but then you forgot to read the fine print. Fine print says, well, by the way, if you get involved in this, and that, and you get involved in earth karma and it doesn't get cleared, well, we got you. You're gonna have to be here for a while, right? So it happens to a lot of wanderers also. And so then you come here, short-term contract, but you didn't read the fine print, so too bad. You're a genius. Should have figured that out. Okay? So, my cousin, for example, my cousin Mo, God bless his soul, which I feel like he actually watches over me because he's so wise, actually. He's incredibly wise. He could very well be one of my guides, actually. He could very well be one of my ancestral guides. He is actually one of my ancestral guides. And he came here, and I feel like he came here for something to do specifically. His mission has to do with his family. It had to do with something in his family, for sure. For sure. I have to sit down and actually reflect on it. But he didn't come here for like some kind of a grandiose mission or to music or anything. He came here like very short, 16 years. He came here specifically for, I think, for his mom, something for his mom. Because him and his mom had this unbelievable bond. They still have this unbelievable bond. She's very clear about who her favorite is, and she has 7 kids, I think now, 7. She's very clear about it. He's my favorite. She's very, like, doesn't mince words. She's like, yeah, there's some bond. So I think he came here for something to do with his mom. Something to do with his mom specifically, right? And so wanderers can come here also for very small, short term, like for a specific person sometimes, right? But most wanderers will come here for, like, something to do with changing the world. And maybe my cousin now, he's one of the rainbow kids now, one of the indigo, whatever, all these names. He may be now here, maybe he did serve 16 years for one person, specifically my aunt, and now he's maybe like the next whatever. He's very loving. Yeah, I could see him being in like I could even see him just incarnated as a very motherly woman, and he had that about him. And in fact, he was like chubby, just a loving bear. He was a bear. He was a bear. He's like chubby and big and just full of love and warmth. I just remember every time I saw him like once a year, just give him a big hug, and we'd just go spend, basically we'd be there together for 2 weeks, just me and him. We just cut off the world. We cut off our dads, our moms, and we'd obviously complain about them because we were the older, everything was blamed on us, and we were beaten up and blah blah blah, right? So once I saw him, me and him just disappear. We'd never, Mo and Saeed, that's it. Once the Mo and Saeed got together, that's it. They're gone. And nobody, once we're together, like everybody left us alone. My dad left me alone. His dad left him alone. It was just like, all right, that's their time, you know? And so he's very, I could see him even coming back, not even as a man necessarily, but as like a motherly figure. Because he just had so much love. More than wisdom, I would say, is love. He was just so loving. Yeah, and so he probably is. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he's just back home hanging out. Maybe he came for a little thing, but maybe he is also back here now, doing something. I don't know. I'll have to inquire, but that's too much right now. I just gotta stick to the mission. You know, if he wants to come, I mean, Mo, if you wanna come visit me in the dreams, let me know. It'd be really nice. It'd be really nice. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get a dream about him or something in the next week or so. So that's why it's really actually quite for a good reason. It's you actually have to let go gracefully for these wanderer souls. You have to understand that they don't want to hang out here for too long, and they just want to come here and do the mission and leave, and they're not interested in being here for a long time. Again, unfortunately for assholes like me, I signed up the contract. I guess I have to be here for some time now. I have to do the breatharian thing and then live long enough and be the message and blah blah blah, because it's part of my I signed up for it, and it's okay. All right, I guess let's be here. Let's hang out here. It's not a bad place. I'd like to see it get transformed to a better place. I am seeing it now. I in fact, let's see this go from earth to heaven. Heaven on earth is the constant message that I receive, right? Is this place we're here to create heaven on earth, over and over, over and over. Every trip, every time I took shrooms or LSD, I'd hear the ETs telling me, you and everyone else here with you is here to create heaven on earth, to create heaven on earth, to create heaven on earth. So we're bringing our heavens, our heavenly realms, the fifth density, the sixth density, and we're helping this planet transition into the next density. Okay, this is the game. You have to understand the game to be able to put everything in context. So by understanding the game and how it works, you're able to put into context, fully put into context, why is it that such a phenomena occurs where young people, an alarming percentage of people who die young, who come to prominent positions, prominent figures in society, that an alarming, not everyone obviously, but an alarming percentage of those who die young are like very, very good souls, very good benevolent beings, and that's the reason. There's your reason. So understand the game to understand the macrocosm, to be able to understand all these the effects of it. Understand the cause, understand the effects, because these are just effects. Nothing is by accident. You think Bob Marley got cancer by accident? You think Tupac got shot by accident? Really? You really think Tupac came here not knowing that this is the exact date that he was gonna get shot? You really think that happened by accident? You really think he was distressed about it? Really? No, he wasn't. Okay, no, he wasn't. He wasn't. Okay, and yeah, I mean, John F. Kennedy, same thing. He's a bit older, but nevertheless, yeah, he came here. He said, "I'm gonna do my best to expose the reptilians. There's a very good chance I'm gonna get assassinated, and in fact, that'd be nice because I want to go back home." You see? So yeah, that's the case, right? So that's usually that when a very good person, you can agree, force a positive change. When they pass on early, you can bet your ass they're a wanderer, and they want to go back home. They don't want to stick around here too long. So yeah, hopefully that explains to you this. And I'm kind of tired of talking today. I think I'm straight been talking now in front of these videos. I'm getting thirsty. So I want to go get some water. Maybe continue to make videos after. Who knows? But I need a little rest here, a little hydration rest. So thank you to all the Patreons for your support. I love you guys, and if you want to support, right? Again, the more resources we have as a community. I mean, I got this idea, this community house idea, that's in the making. Have a community house. Have hosts one of you guys like once a month. It's like for the community kind of thing. More resources we have, more things we could do. Okay, so Patreon is in the description. Also, one-time donations are highly appreciated and acceptable. So thank you very much. Also via PayPal. Saeed Mubayyad at Instagram. And until next time, may the force be with you.